Welcome. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of muscle hypertrophy. This is the process that makes your muscles bigger and stronger. Whether you're new to lifting weights or a seasoned pro, understanding hypertrophy is key. We'll unlock the science behind it and how you can use it to reach your fitness goals. Muscle hypertrophy is important for everyone, not just bodybuilders. Stronger muscles mean better overall health and fitness. They improve your endurance and make everyday activities easier. Throughout this lecture, we'll cover the basics of muscle growth, the different types of hypertrophy, and the best training techniques to maximize your gains. We'll also delve into the vital role of nutrition. What you eat fuels your workouts and helps repair and build muscle tissue. Finally, we'll emphasize the importance of rest and recovery. Remember, muscles don't grow while you're working out, they grow when you're resting. By the end of this lecture, you'll have a solid understanding of how muscle hypertrophy works and how to apply this knowledge to your own training. Get ready to unlock your muscle building potential. Let's get started on this journey to maximize your muscle growth. What exactly do we mean by muscle hypertrophy? In simple terms, it's the process of your muscle cells increasing in size. Imagine your muscles like building blocks. Hypertrophy is like adding more blocks, making the entire structure bigger and stronger. This whole growth occurs primarily as a response to resistance training. When you lift weights or engage in other forms of resistance exercise, you're actually creating tiny tears in your muscle fibers. This might sound alarming, but it's a natural and necessary part of the process. Think of it like controlled damage that signals your body to adapt and rebuild. During the recovery period after your workout, your body gets to work repairing these micro tears. It uses the protein you consume to fuse muscle fibers together, making them larger and more resilient. Over time, this continuous cycle of damage and repair leads to noticeable increases in muscle size and strength. This process of muscle hypertrophy is the foundation of building a stronger, more capable physique. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about improving your overall health, functional strength, and athletic potential. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's delve a little deeper into the mechanics of how this remarkable process unfolds. To truly grasp muscle hypertrophy, we need to zoom in on the cellular level. Inside each of your muscle fibers are specialized structures called myofibrils. These myofibrils are the workhorses responsible for muscle contraction. They contain even smaller units called sarcomeres, which slide past each other during a muscle contraction, shortening the muscle fiber and generating force. When you subject your muscles to resistance training, you trigger a cascade of molecular events within these muscle fibers. This mechanical stress activates signaling pathways that tell your cells to produce more protein. These proteins are the raw materials your body uses to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. As your body repairs the microscopic damage, it doesn't simply return to its previous state. Instead, it adapts by adding more myofibrillar proteins to the muscle fibers. This increase in contractile proteins makes the muscle fibers thicker and more capable of generating force. In essence, your body is constantly striving to maintain a balance between breakdown and repair. By pushing your muscles beyond their comfort zone with resistance training, you tip the scales in favor of muscle protein synthesis, the process of building new muscle proteins. This ongoing cycle of adaptation is the driving force behind muscle hypertrophy. Now that we've explored the fundamental mechanisms of muscle growth, let's move on to the different types of hypertrophy and how they contribute to your overall gains. muscle hypertrophy isn't a one-size-fits-all process. It can manifest in different ways, depending on the type of training stimulus you apply. The first type we'll explore is myofibrillar hypertrophy, the pathway to raw strength. As the name suggests, myofibrillar hypertrophy focuses on the myofibrils, those protein strands responsible for muscle contraction. When you engage in heavy lifting with low repetitions, you're primarily targeting myofibrillar growth. This type of training places significant mechanical stress on the muscle fibers, causing micro tears and triggering a cascade of signaling events that prioritize the production of contractile proteins. The result: denser, more powerful muscles capable of generating greater force. Imagine a powerlifter hoisting massive weights. Their training emphasizes myofibrillar hypertrophy to build exceptional strength. But it's not just for elite athletes. Anyone looking to get stronger, improve their functional fitness, or enhance their athletic performance can benefit from incorporating myofibrillar focused training. This doesn't mean you need to start lifting impossibly heavy weights. The key is to challenge yourself with weights that allow you to maintain good form for those lower rep ranges. As you get stronger, you can gradually increase the weight, ensuring continued progress and maximizing those myofibrillar gains. Now let's shift our focus to the other side of the hypertrophy coin, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Section 2. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, the size enhancer. While myofibrillar hypertrophy is all about strength, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is the key to that full muscular look. This type of growth targets the sarcoplasm, the fluid surrounding the myofibrils within a muscle cell. The sarcoplasm contains glycogen, water, and other nutrients that fuel muscle contractions. Higher repetition training with moderate weights and shorter rest periods is the hallmark of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This approach prioritizes metabolic stress, creating a surge in blood flow to the muscles and promoting the storage of more glycogen and fluid within the muscle cells. Think of it like inflating a balloon. As the sarcoplasm expands, it pushes against the cell membrane, creating that sought-after muscle pump and increasing the overall size of the muscle. Bodybuilders often focus on sarcoplasmic hypertrophy to achieve a larger, more defined physique. But again, you don't need to aspire to grace the bodybuilding stage to reap the benefits. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy contributes to muscle endurance and can enhance the visual appearance of your muscles, giving you that toned and sculpted look. By understanding the distinct mechanisms of both myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, you can tailor your training to prioritize the type of growth that aligns with your individual goals. However, it's important to remember that these two types of hypertrophy are not mutually exclusive. Section 3. Balancing act, combining hypertrophy types. In the realm of muscle growth, it's not about choosing one type of hypertrophy over the other. The real magic happens when you strike a balance between myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. By incorporating a variety of training styles and rep ranges, you can stimulate both pathways and unlock your full muscle building potential. For instance, a well-rounded training program might include heavy compound lifts like squats and deadlifts in the lower rep ranges, 4 to 6 reps to target myofibrillar growth. This could be complemented with moderate weight exercises like leg presses and hamstring curls in the higher rep ranges, 10 to 15 reps, to stimulate sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. The key is to listen to your body, experiment with different training approaches, and find what works best for you. Remember, muscle growth is a journey, not a race. Embrace the process, be patient, and enjoy the transformative power of hypertrophy. Now that we've covered the types of hypertrophy, let's move on to the effective training techniques that will help you maximize your gains. Section 1. Principles of effective training. Now that we understand the science behind muscle growth, let's talk about how to put it into practice. Effective training for hypertrophy hinges on a few key principles. First and foremost is progressive overload. This simply means consistently challenging your muscles with increasing demands over time. Think of it like this: if you lift the same weight for the same number of repetitions week after week, your body has no reason to adapt and grow. To stimulate muscle growth, you need to provide a stimulus that forces your muscles to work harder than they are accustomed to. There are several ways to achieve progressive overload. You can increase the weight you lift, perform more repetitions with the same weight, or even slow down the tempo of your lifts to increase the time under tension. The key is to find a method that works for you and stick with it consistently. Another crucial aspect of effective training is proper exercise selection. We'll delve into specific exercises later, but for now, it's important to understand the difference between compound and isolation exercises. Compound exercises work multiple muscle groups simultaneously, while isolation exercises target a single muscle group. Both have their place in a well-rounded hypertrophy program. Finally, remember that consistency is king. Sporadic workouts won't yield the same results as a well-structured training plan followed diligently. Aim to train each muscle group at least twice a week, allowing for adequate rest between sessions. Section 2. Compound movements for maximum impact. When it comes to building overall muscle mass, compound exercises should form the cornerstone of your training program. These multi-joint movements engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously, leading to greater overall muscle activation and hormonal response. Think of exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, and overhead presses. These movements mimic natural movement patterns and recruit large amounts of muscle mass, making them incredibly effective for stimulating muscle growth. They also burn more calories than isolation exercises, making them beneficial for fat loss as well. When performing compound exercises, focus on proper form and technique. Start with lighter weights and gradually increase the load as you get stronger. It's better to perform an exercise with perfect form and a lighter weight than to sacrifice technique for heavier weight. Don't be afraid to ask for help from a qualified trainer or experienced lifter if you're unsure about your form. They can provide valuable guidance and ensure you're performing the exercises safely and effectively. While compound exercises are essential, isolation exercises also play a valuable role in a well-rounded hypertrophy program. Section 3. Isolation and frequency. Refining your approach. While compound exercises provide a solid foundation for muscle growth, isolation exercises allow you to target specific muscle groups with laser-like precision. This is particularly useful for addressing weaknesses or imbalances in your physique. For example, if your triceps are lagging behind your biceps, you can incorporate isolation exercises like triceps push-downs or overhead extensions to bring them up to par. Isolation exercises are also beneficial for adding variety to your workouts and preventing boredom. When it comes to training frequency, aim to train each muscle group at least twice a week. This provides ample opportunity for muscle protein synthesis and allows for adequate rest between sessions. Remember, muscles grow during rest, not during training. It's also essential to listen to your body and adjust your training frequency and volume as needed. If you are feeling overly sore or fatigued, don't be afraid to take an extra rest day or reduce the intensity of your workouts. By incorporating a balanced mix of compound and isolation exercises, training each muscle group frequently and prioritizing progressive overload, you'll create the optimal environment for muscle growth. Section 1. The Cornerstone of Growth. Let's delve deeper into the concept of progressive overload, a principle we've touched upon briefly, but one that deserves its own spotlight. In the world of muscle building, progressive overload isn't just a suggestion, it's the golden rule. Without your muscles will plateau, meaning they'll hit a wall in terms of growth and strength gains. Imagine you're trying to push a car uphill. If you only ever exert the same amount of force, the car will eventually stop moving. To conquer the hill, you need to gradually increase your effort, pushing a little harder with each stride. Progressive overload works the same way with your muscles. When you consistently challenge your muscles with increasing demands, you're sending a clear signal to your body: adapt or fall behind. This signal triggers a cascade of physiological processes, leading to increased protein synthesis, improved neuromuscular connections, and ultimately muscle growth. Now you might be wondering, how do I know when to increase the challenge? A good rule of thumb is to listen to your body. If you can easily complete all your sets and reps with good form, it's a sign that your muscles have adapted to the current workload and it's time to up the ante. But remember, progressive overload isn't just about adding more weight to the bar. Let's explore some practical ways to implement this principle in your training. Section 2. Practical applications. Pushing your limits. Increasing the weight is often the most straightforward approach to progressive overload. If you can comfortably perform 3 sets of 10 reps with a certain weight, try increasing the weight by 5 to 10% for your next workout. This gradual increase ensures you're challenging your muscles without sacrificing proper form. However, progressive overload isn't limited to weight increases alone. You can also increase the number of reps or sets you perform with a given weight. For example, if you can do 3 sets of 10 reps, try aiming for 3 sets of 12 reps or even 4 sets of 10 reps. Another effective technique is to manipulate the tempo of your lifts. Slowing down the eccentric phase of a lift, the lowering portion, increases the time under tension, placing greater stress on the muscle fibers. Try performing a 4-second eccentric phase for exercises like squats, bench presses, and rows. You can also incorporate more challenging exercise variations. For instance, if regular push-ups become too easy, try incline push-ups or even decline push-ups. The key is to constantly seek ways to challenge your muscles and prevent them from adapting to a fixed routine. Remember, progressive overload is a journey, not a race. Listen to your body, make gradual increases, and celebrate your progress along the way. Now that we've covered the importance of challenging your muscles, let's move on to another crucial aspect of muscle growth: nutrition. Section 1. Fueling muscle growth. The power of protein. We've explored the mechanics of muscle growth, the types of hypertrophy, and the importance of progressive overload. Now, let's turn our attention to a crucial piece of the puzzle in nutrition, specifically the role of protein in fueling muscle hypertrophy. Think of protein as the building blocks of your muscles. When you engage in resistance training, you're breaking down muscle protein, creating those microscopic tears we discussed earlier. To repair and rebuild these muscles, your body needs a steady supply of amino acids, the building blocks of protein. Without adequate protein intake, your body will struggle to recover from workouts and build new muscle tissue. The amino acids from protein are essential for repairing damaged muscle fibers and stimulating muscle protein synthesis, the process responsible for muscle growth. So, how much protein do you need? The general recommendation for individuals aiming to maximize muscle hypertrophy is around 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. This translates to roughly 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now that we've established the importance of protein, let's explore the role of another essential macronutrient, carbohydrates. Section 2. Carbohydrates. Energy for performance and recovery. While protein often takes center stage in discussions about muscle growth, carbohydrates play an equally vital role. Carbohydrates are your body's primary source of energy, and they're essential for fueling intense workouts and promoting optimal recovery. Think of carbohydrates as the fuel that powers your muscle contractions. When you consume carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, which is stored in your muscles and liver as glycogen. During exercise, your body taps into these glycogen stores to provide energy for muscle contractions. If your glycogen stores are depleted, you'll experience fatigue, reduced performance, and a diminished capacity for muscle growth. Consuming adequate carbohydrates ensures you have the energy to train hard and push your limits, maximizing the effectiveness of your workouts. Moreover, carbohydrates play a crucial role in replenishing glycogen stores after exercise, promoting recovery and reducing muscle soreness. They also stimulate the release of insulin, a hormone that helps transport nutrients, including amino acids, into muscle cells. However, it's not just about protein and carbohydrates. Let's explore the importance of other essential nutrients. Section 3. Essential nutrients and caloric surplus. While protein and carbohydrates are essential for muscle growth, they are not the only players in the game. Healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and adequate hydration all contribute to optimal muscle building and overall health. Healthy fats found in foods like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil are crucial for hormone production, including testosterone, which plays a vital role in muscle growth. They also support cell function, nutrient absorption, and overall well-being. Vitamins and minerals found in abundance in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains act as cofactors in numerous metabolic processes, including protein synthesis and energy production. They also support immune function, bone health, and overall vitality. Hydration is often overlooked but is paramount for muscle growth. Water makes up a significant portion of muscle tissue, and even mild dehydration can impair performance, recovery, and muscle protein synthesis. Aim to drink water consistently throughout the day, especially before, during, and after workouts. Finally, to maximize muscle growth, you need to be in a caloric surplus. This means consuming more calories than you burn, providing your body with the energy surplus it needs to build new muscle tissue. Remember, nutrition is not about restriction or deprivation. It's about fueling your body with the nutrients it needs to perform at its best and achieve your muscle building goals. Section 1. The importance of rest. Rebuilding for growth. We've covered a lot of ground on the path to muscle growth, from the science of hypertrophy to the importance of progressive overload and nutrition. But there's one crucial element that often gets overlooked amidst the intensity of training, rest and recovery. Remember, muscles don't grow while you're lifting weights. They grow during the periods of rest that follow. Think of your workouts as the stimulus that triggers muscle growth. When you lift weights, you're creating microscopic tears in your muscle fibers, essentially sending a signal to your body to adapt and rebuild. But the actual process of repair and growth occurs during the hours and days after your workout, when your body is in recovery mode. During this time, your body works tirelessly to repair damaged muscle fibers, synthesize new proteins, and replenish energy stores. Adequate rest provides your body with the opportunity to complete these processes effectively, leading to stronger, larger muscles over time. On the other hand, inadequate rest can hinder muscle growth and increase the risk of injury. When you consistently push your body without sufficient recovery, you run the risk of overtraining, a state characterized by fatigue, decreased performance, and an increased susceptibility to illness and injury. Now that we've established the crucial role of rest, let's explore some practical strategies for optimizing recovery and maximizing muscle growth. Section 2. Active recovery and injury prevention. One of the most effective ways to enhance recovery and reduce muscle soreness is through active recovery. This involves engaging in low-intensity activities on your rest days, such as walking, swimming, cycling, or gentle yoga. Active recovery helps promote blood flow to your muscles, delivering nutrients and oxygen to aid in repair. It also helps flush out metabolic byproducts that accumulate during intense exercise, reducing muscle soreness and stiffness. In addition to active recovery, prioritizing sleep is paramount for muscle growth. During sleep, your body releases growth hormone, a key player in muscle protein synthesis and repair. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to allow your body ample time to recover and rebuild. Proper nutrition also plays a vital role in recovery. Consuming adequate protein after your workouts provides the amino acids your body needs to repair damaged muscle tissue. Carbohydrates help replenish glycogen stores, providing energy for your next workout. Finally, don't underestimate the importance of injury prevention. Warming up properly before each workout, using proper form and technique, and listening to your body's signals are crucial for staying injury-free and maximizing your training consistency. By prioritizing rest, incorporating active recovery, prioritizing sleep, fueling your body with the right nutrients, and training safely, you'll create an environment that supports optimal muscle growth and recovery. Remember, consistency is key, and taking care of your body both inside and outside the gym will yield the best long-term results. Section 1. Azascotin. Unlocking your potential. A holistic approach to muscle growth. We've journeyed through the intricacies of muscle hypertrophy, uncovering the science that underpins this remarkable process. From the microscopic tears within muscle fibers to the intricate dance of protein synthesis, we've explored the mechanisms that drive muscle growth. Remember, hypertrophy isn't just about aesthetics. It's about building a stronger, more resilient, and capable version of yourself. We delved into the distinct yet interconnected pathways of myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, understanding how to tailor our training to prioritize strength or size, or ideally strike a balance between the two. We discovered the power of compound movements like squats and deadlifts, those cornerstones of muscle building that engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously. We learned to refine our approach with isolation exercises, targeting specific muscles to address weaknesses and sculpt a balanced physique. The importance of progressive overload echoed throughout our exploration, reminding us that consistent challenge is the catalyst for growth. Whether we choose to increase the weight, reps, or sets, or manipulate tempo or exercise variations, the key is to keep our muscles guessing and adapting. Yet our journey emphasized that building muscle goes beyond the gym. It's a holistic endeavor that requires fueling our bodies with the right nutrients, prioritizing protein for muscle repair and carbohydrates for energy and recovery. We learn to embrace healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals, recognizing their essential roles in hormone production, metabolic processes, and overall well-being. And perhaps most importantly, we discovered the often underestimated power of rest. We learned to respect our body's need for recovery, allowing time for those microscopic tears to heal, for protein synthesis to work its magic, and for glycogen stores to replenish. Active recovery, quality sleep, and proper nutrition emerged as our allies in maximizing muscle growth and preventing overtraining and injury. As you embark on your own muscle building journey, remember that knowledge is power. Armed with the insights from this lecture, you're equipped to train smarter, fuel your body effectively, and prioritize recovery. Embrace the process, be patient, and celebrate the transformative power of muscle hypertrophy.